Hello.
Good morning.
We're kind of moving along. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The continuing saga of Hurricane Helene on the adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Helene, yeah. Okay, so it's Wednesday, October 2nd. Oh, I need to charge this. Okay. I'm taking that off so I remember to. Okay, hi. Let me back up. There's too much. Let me explain. No, there's too much. Let me sum up. Okay, hi. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. And we're in a new spot in Brevard, North Carolina.
I was backing up. Okay. But yes, this looks weird, right? We're okay. Okay. So, okay. It is Wednesday, October 2nd. And yes, Liz is absolutely correct. We are not in our normal location. Green screen. No, it's not.
It's blue screen.
I promise all the other... I promise all the other times was not a green screen. So here's the deal. Okay, this is our proof of life video for y'all that we are okay. Because Helene just slammed us last week. And we are on the outskirts of the really, 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 really bad devastation. But we figured we should let y'all know. Some of you have been following us on social media. And you may already have heard some of what's going on. And I could go on with stories for days. But, we wanted to let y'all know that we are okay. As you can see, we have power. This is the new shop. This is the teaching room in the new shop. Because this is where we put the farm table we usually film at. Our shop is slowly coming together. We had a few days that we weren't unpacking because, we got whammed by a hurricane. But we got internet back yesterday, which was insane. I mean, there's stories beyond stories beyond stories we could tell. But we are okay. And most of the Sun Dragon people we've been able to contact in the area are okay. We wanted to let you know that. And we had people on social media yesterday because, again, internet just randomly came back. I thought it wasn't going to come back for weeks. I have no power at my house. I have water, but no power. And we have power and now internet, but there was no cell service for days. It was crazy. Where I live, there's tons of trees down. There's all kinds of, it's just it's hard to fill you in on everything. And we actually might have a customer coming by. So we're still trying to unpack, but we wanted to let y'all know we're okay.
We're planning a shop tour in the next little bit, but
if we can.
Right now we just want to let everybody know we are okay.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's yes, the shop survived. It looks better than just a blue wall, but that was painted in early September. I had a lovely vacation before all this craziness happened. We will hopefully fill you in on lots of stories later, but we wanted to let you know we are okay. I think mail service has started in town, so we might be able to fulfill orders. So if you had one in September, which there were only a few, or if you'd like to order from us now, our online shop has never been down, because that's in the interwebs, right? We finally, up until yesterday, I didn't think we were going to have access to check any of that or do anything with that.
We stumbled across the fact that we had internet just by complete happenstance.
Yeah.
It was...
Because 2 days ago, there was almost no way to reach anybody. Yeah. And even in town or outside of town. People were hunting around for pockets of cell service.
Where two or three are gathered together, there you will find cell service.
Right? So. It was you would see people pulled off on the side of the road because there was more than a couple bars.
Or stopped in the middle of the road.
Yeah. And at my house, for the longest time, they brought in remote towers, right, to try to help us all. For days, I mean, it feels like it's been months, and it's coming up on 1 week. But for days where I lived, where it was hard to get out because of all the trees down, there wasn't even SOS service. There was just hunting for a satellite. I think the satellite symbol was there. That light needs to be replaced. Okay. I think the satellite symbol was there. So if I had the latest update, it was letting me know I could use that to text people, but I didn't have the latest update. So it's just been we have stories. But the landline for our shop phone number, I don't know if y'all can get through to us, because in this area we've noticed that if landlines work, they work for local numbers only right now. So much for having a landline in case of emergency.
Yes, we have had like one bar of cell service at my house for since Saturday night at like 10:30, and then yesterday we had nothing. So I answered the shop phone yesterday, and it was my husband going, "I got a hold of you!"
Yay!
And so, but most people don't have landlines anymore, so it's really hard.
That's why they had to bring in so many temporary towers from different cell companies and just let everybody use them. But that still doesn't mean that we have cell service everywhere. Like someone was recommending online, we use our phones as a hotspot if we couldn't get internet going. The internet's actually better than cell service right now in the shop. At home, I go camp out at night. Like, you didn't lose power, but your cell service has been going in and out.
Yeah.
And I still haven't had power for it's really only like day 6 now. So I go home and camp. Like almost everyone else around me has decided to go other places. My deck is gone, but my house is standing.
We didn't get to like communicate at all between Friday.
We both didn't know if
Sunday.
the other person was okay for 3 or 4 days, which was a little terrifying. And I know you all didn't. I wasn't able to go contact my family to let them know I was okay for 2 or 3 days. So they didn't know. And there are places where there are lots of people who didn't make it through the storm. I don't think Brevard has too many casualties, luckily. But areas around us, Asheville, Hendersonville, Flat Rock, like there's all kinds of towns around us.
Because we haven't gotten cell service or internet or anything, we're just now finding out how bad the surrounding area is.
Yeah.
So it's
and yeah,
unreal.
It's a process. And even though we are technically up and running, like yesterday we got internet back, and I posted on social media, and we had 2 sales yesterday. And we had some donations. Which
2 sales in the shop.
2 sales in the shop. And we had a gift card purchase and a donation. And thank you so much. Because as Pearls mentioned, like most of the yarn shops, Pearls, Black Mountain, we're all wiped out, kind of. Like, not necessarily the shops are destroyed. But we subside on a lot of tourism to this area for the leaf lookers and stuff. And roads, like the road between my house and town is washed out. So I have to take this back road way that takes me twice as long. And, which, not the worst thing in the world, but it's a thing. And there's lines for gas everywhere because there's gas shortages because people need it for their cars and they need it for their generators if they have them, which I do not. I'm taking a cold shower in the morning because I have water. We have generators. The water company has a generator going for my area, so that's lovely. With a boil water advisory, which I can't do, so I'm just using bottled water, but it's okay. Stories. We have lots of stories. And we don't have hugely tragic stories, which is a good thing. But we are going to be struggling for a while, I think, because even though we have power and we have internet, thank goodness we have internet, we don't necessarily have a way of bringing in the income that we didn't have for all last month because we were moving. So we're going to try to fill orders. If you can order things, please do. And we will do our best to be, like, we can be in touch over email with people, much better than by phone, I think, at this point. If you want something that's not in the online shop, let us know by email if you can't reach us, because you probably can't reach us by phone, is my guess. If you have it within your ability, I know everyone's strapped right now to either get a gift certificate you could use later or donate to the shop. Like, just consider it. We also understand that a large chunk of our community, if they're local, don't have those resources.
And if you're local and you're watching this and you need to be social, come hang out at the shop.
I mean, it's one of those crazy things that it's like, come here to charge your phones, because that's what I do. I come here during the day and don't stay at my house with no power. But this video may not reach you if you don't have power. So, although some of the cell service stuff is better, but please come by, even if you can't donate to the shop or buy anything. We are still a social space, and we still want you to come by, charge your stuff. We have hot water. We don't have a shower, but we have hot water here at the shop. And we have bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. And we have a microwave if you need it. Our fridge is really small and full of stuff, so I continue to survive.
I'm bringing food to the shop so that Rebecca has one hot meal a day. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, but we know not everyone is on social media, so those of you who follow us on YouTube in the wider world, we want to let you know we're okay.
If you know anyone local and can call or text them,
let them know
that we're a hangout spot. Charge your electronics. If you bring jugs in to fill up with water, we will fill them up with water for you.
Yes, but I think even in town there's a boil water advisory. Yeah. But just because inconsistent pressure or they're saying just be careful. So I while we were away, while we were closed in September, we did hit 2,000 subscribers, and that's fantastic. And if anyone is waiting, we promised you a sale. And if anyone's waiting for that sale, that has to wait until we're not in crisis mode anymore. We really can't do a sale right now. We're just trying to get the shop organized and back on its feet, and we need every sale we can get, to be quite honest. I don't want to beg for pity or anything, but like I said, we don't have it as bad as some people do, but it's we haven't had any people or very few people in the shop, I think, because a lot of people can't get out and can't get to us, or they have to save their gas or things like that. So the wider world that supports us by watching these videos and everything like that, if you can spare anything, or if you can send word to others, I think that's how a lot of businesses in this area are going to get by. It's almost like, back at the beginning of COVID when everyone went, what are we going to do? Hopefully this won't last as long. But we don't know. I'm so grateful. I really thought I might have power this weekend, but I'm not holding my breath at home. I never thought the shop would still be standing or have power or already have internet, which is amazing. However, that doesn't mean everything's just back to normal. So,
the right now, Western North Carolina has I-26 South is pretty much the only access point to get in here.
Someone said out at Conacy put out an email saying, if you need to go south, go to Cashers. I guess I don't even know. Yeah. I just there are mudslides, there are roads out, there are, you've seen the devastation probably on the news if you've
probably seen more than we have.
If you're outside of the area. Yeah. We've seen tidbits here and there. I was so grateful to wake up 2 mornings ago and have 1 bar on my phone at my house, because it meant life was maybe had a chance of getting back to normal. But yeah, the main road to Greenville, half of it's gone. And some people, I know there's probably the knitters of ours who haven't been able to leave their houses or don't have water. And I wish we could teleport things to you. I really do. But letting you all know that we're alive, and, all things considered, we're okay. And if you can support us in any way, or support where you can, if it's not us, support something else that's going to help people in this area. That's fantastic.
Like I said in my Instagram post, support, prayers, and positive thoughts are all welcome, because
if you know someone who can help support us through this, get word to them, because I know I'm not going to ask people if they already are hand to mouth to donate to us, because that's ridiculous. But we've had once the internet started to get going for a while in the area, it was lines for gas, cash only 20 people at a time in the grocery store, so they could write down what you're buying so that you could cash out with cash only, because nothing was running. I haven't been to the grocery store since this happened. Liz has provided me with canned salmon and tuna for me to eat at night when I go home. I just cleaned out my freezer I had popsicles from when I had COVID that I had to like cut open into the sink this morning and I think there were some puddles under my fridge, and I think I was all worried, and now I'm like, that might have just been popsicle juice. But yeah,
coming into the shop after the storm, like Bernie and I came up on Saturday because we were able to get out, and
I didn't get out till Sunday.
We came in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's power and no water in the shop, which was fantastic. And then I go to the freezer.
Like, we have running water, but no flood.
Yeah. I had filled the freezer basically filled the fridge right before we left for the hurricane. There was ice cream in there. And Rebecca had a couple of breakfast sandwiches, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're still frozen.
Yeah.
Like, perfect. And so after Rebecca came on Sunday, we were like, it's time for OSHA, and look, we have ice cream.
And I've been coming in here to get hot coffee in the morning, nuking coffee, making breakfast. Like, there's snack food at my house, but not a lot. And I made it through with some really old canned tuna until I could get into the shop. And it was the best thing to see a note from Liz, to walk in and both see that we had power in town, parts of town, to see that they had been here and had unpacked a little bit more of the shop, and to see a note from her, because that's what I was going to do, is leave a note for you, because we couldn't contact each other. We had no... I thought she was at home without power, and she's on a well, and I was like... But we were okay.
Yeah.
We were okay. Like I said, a big, huge tree fell on my deck. If you're on social media, you might have seen the picture. My deck is gone, but it didn't hit the house. I spent part of Friday morning, the first half of Friday, in what I felt like was the safest part of my house, which was a hallway, a really skinny little hallway.
She was sleeping on the floor.
I was sleeping on a blanket and a pillow from the couch, because that's when I realized my deck was gone, and I just wanted to be away from all the windows because I wasn't sure what was going to fall next. And nothing else did fall on my house or my area, which is great. My car is okay. For what it is, it's an ancient car. I've been doing the slalom around trees to get in here, and day by day in Conisty they're carving out more trees and making it more accessible to the back road you have to take into town. I'm still driving over dead wires. We still have telephone poles that are down. We don't even know if the substations are fixed to get power. We have power here.
There's lots of helicopter traffic around our area, and they're looking for substations that are underwater, and like
I followed some power trucks out towards heading towards my house yesterday, and I think they were just probably driving around to see what was going on. There were some wires they had to almost go off the road into the mud to get under, because wires are hanging low in places, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they're gonna stop and fix it. No, they didn't. But that's okay.
There's so much assessment that they're having to do.
And we've heard people have come in from other states and from Canada to help, and that's awesome. So I'm not begrudging, I'm just not expecting power anytime soon.
If you
I know they're
linemen,
working around the clock.
Thank them.
Thank them for us, definitely. That we have power in town, and that they cut some of the big tree. Like, there's a tree on my way into town, the one that cut power off to Carol. Like, the whole thing, huge tree, just the roots just gave way. That's what most of the damage is in our area. It wasn't so much that the rain, the rivers were torrents, but we haven't seen that because we weren't by them. But we got 4 to 6 inches of rain before the hurricane hit last week. And then the hurricane hit, and between the winds and the super saturated ground, the trees just pulled up at their bases.
Over a 3-day period, our house registered 18 inches of rain. And I've heard
including the hurricane.
Yeah,
so.
I've heard anything from 18 to 24 inches.
It was probably about 22 at my house because our neighbors had a rain gauge. And it was just... I've seen the thing, houses being swept away, all that kind. I've seen the remnants of when the water was high, because I couldn't get off the mountain until the water wasn't high. So I didn't have water pouring through my house. There's a creek outside, and it got high. It looks like we can see where the matted down grass is, but it didn't come up to the shop. I was so worried the shop was underwater. And I know when there has been devastation and there are people who didn't make it through the storm to be like, well, my shop's still here, but my shop is still here. So
when we left our house on Saturday, we live uphill from the river, and there's a cornfield there. You couldn't see the corn, so however tall corn gets,
and I've seen a lot of corn that's like dead, or you could see the water might have pulled it.
Yeah,
but
it was over the top of the corn, because when you and I drove by on Sunday, it was about halfway down the corn stalks. But
so the waters are receding. And I don't think there's as many flooded roads by us, but there's a lot of roads that just aren't there anymore. And I saw that part of Country Club or Barclay, one of those has crumbled away. And
we drove past.
There's worse than what we've seen.
We drove past the yard that wasn't there anymore, and
there's a yard near me, near Island Ford, that's not there anymore.
Bernie said that yard that's gone.
Yeah.
Last year during flooding, they lost their driveway. This year, the driveway's there, and the front yard's gone.
The yards that got hit, or places where the water swirled, probably as it was running out of town, it's down to bedrock. It's I've never, I understand what bedrock is now, because there's piles of rock deep down that are exposed. And I've seen a couple of news stories where they have the pictures of downtowns that are completely swept away. That didn't happen in Brevard. Brevard is kind of towards the valley, but it's high enough that even though the French Broad's outside of town, it didn't rip through town itself. The smaller towns that are right on the river, those did not fare as well. We are here. We don't know if anyone can get to us, and we have to figure out how to survive now. So
our closest neighbors in Hendersonville and Rosman got hit pretty good.
Yeah. Rosman got flooded again.
Rosman, yeah.
I don't know if it was as bad as last year.
Hendersonville, there is massive damage in Hendersonville.
Yeah.
We were watching the news one night.
Liz had satellite.
For
TV. That's how she could watch
the
news.
We were watching the news, and there's a whole apartment complex, townhouse type things, where their garages got flooded over the top of their SUVs. So, everything from the car down is gone in their garages. And that Hendersonville, is a city compared to Brevard. Yeah. And
so that's scary.
Asheville,
that water was running through the city. Yeah.
We found out this morning.
We have people here who call this a city. It's not.
Yeah. We found out this morning, surfing Twitter, whatever.
You did.
I did. That Asheville City Schools, AB Tech, and Polk County schools are closed indefinitely because
Asheville got a lot of damage too.
Yeah.
And we got hit differently than Asheville did, but because even though we're close, the mountains change everything. From one town to the next, you just don't know what you're gonna find. But anyway,
we're starting to sound like a newscast.
We're just telling stories now.
I know.
So, my cat I go home to camp out with my cat at night, and then I come in here to have electricity and connectivity to people. Talked to my family yesterday for the first real good time, other than texting, since it hit Thursday, Friday. So yes, this is our update. I think this is even longer than we expected to, but give us time and we'll talk. We'll try to do another video soon. We're probably going to be here every day, not just the Monday through Saturday. So 10 to 5. I'm trying not to go home after dark because I just don't know what I'm coming across, and it's more drivable day by day, but I still don't want to be out when it's dark. I want to be home by the time it's dark to make sure that I'm seeing everything clearly on the way home. It hasn't really rained a lot since, but every time it looks like it's going to rain, it's a little terrifying because we have such a saturated ground around here, and it's we don't know what more rain's going to do. Just when we think everything's finally settled. So we'll try to give you a shop tour. We're not done unpacking, but I've almost unpacked all the yarn finally. We'll try to let you know. We're really happy with how the place is shaping up. So I know this doesn't look like much right now, but this was the easiest place to film right now because it's what time is it? It's the shop's already been. It's 11. It's almost 11:30, but like we had one phone call of someone who might try to find us, and I need to go update a lot of other things because people still think we're at our other location. So yeah,
we love you guys.
We love you guys. We miss you. I don't know when we're gonna have sit and stitch. I need internet at my house before that happens because I'm not doing an evening sit and stitch and driving home in the dark. Same. That's the thing. So so this is our proof of life. And if you don't get the shop when you call, it's because our landline can't handle like anything beyond local. So email us. It's info@sundragonartandfiber.com or Rebecca, REBECCA, @sundragonartandfiber.com. If you email Liz, if she notices, she'll send it to me. But I'm the one who's probably checking email more regularly right now for orders. And
yeah, yesterday was real weird for us.
We could see the road. That's why we keep working out there.
Because we would be talking about something and going, oh wait, we have internet now. We can actually check that. So
it's been so weird to be without it for a few days. I mean,
we kind of got weaned off of it, and now it's like, wait.
Anyway, we will try to update y'all when we can. And we'll try to check comments here when we can. Sometimes it's lovely that people are looking out for us and commenting and trying to communicate with us, but it's so overwhelming. It's hard to get back to everybody. So just know that we are here, and we will try to get back to you as we can.
Yep.
All right? Lots and lots of love, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.